For the longest time, we didn't hear any news on the proposed Batgirl film, until recently, when it was announced that they had 4 actresses in consideration for the parts, with the studio close to deciding who would be the latest live-action incarnation of the superhero. Well, now we know that Leslie Grace will be done in the cowl, becoming the first Latina actress to play Batgirl/Barbara Gordon. Looking at the final group of women who were also in the running for the role, it's impressive that Leslie Grace came out on top. She was up against Isabel Merced, Zoe Deutsch, and Haley Lou Richardson, who are all more recognizable talents, with countless projects under their name. The actress is relatively new to the industry, having only just appeared in her first major film, in the Justin Lin directed musical, In the Heights, which was based on the play by Lin-Manuel Miranda. There she played one of the lead roles, starring as Nina Rose, a young woman struggling to meet the expectations of her community, and her father, who is taking everything he has for her education. For a first-time actress, Grace did an outstanding job with the dramatic moments, but soared even more with her musical abilities, which comes from her background as a professional singer and dancer. She was one of the standout characters in the film that unfortunately received some backlash and failed to become a big hit, despite being well received. On a positive note, I love the tweet the actress posted to mark her officially being given the role, or at least the announcement being made publicly. I'm sure she found out long before the news broke online through the entertainment trades. To land the role of Barbara Gordon for a follow-up role is a big deal, and I couldn't be more happy for the actress, who no doubt had a tremendous screen test when auditioning for the role. Leslie Grace marks the 5th actress to play the character in live action, following Yvonne Craig, who is notable for being the first actress to play the character in the 60s Adam West-led Batman television series, Alicia Silverstone, who suited up as Batgirl in Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, Dina Meyer from the short-lived Birds of Prey show that was cancelled after 1 season on the air. She played a retired Batgirl who assumed the Oracle alter ego after being paralyzed by the Joker. And finally, Savannah Welch, who is set to play Barbara Gordon in Titan Season 3. Other than the main lead, who is the only announced cast member attached to this project, we have a terrific pair of directors set to helm the film. Adil El Arib and Bilal Fallah will co-direct Batgirl. The Belgian-Moroccan filmmakers are best known for their work on the FX crime drama series Snowfall, and their 2015 film Black, which follows the story of 2 young teenagers forced to choose between their love for each other or their loyalty to their gang. For me, it's one of my favorite films from the directing duo. There's also Bad Boys for Life, the 3rd entry in the Bad Boys franchise. What they did on their last film makes me eager to see their leap from an actioneer to a big studio comic book movie, which will benefit from their combined efforts as a team. I'm sure they will be more than up to the task of giving us a solid movie. Another thing that I'm happy about is that hiring the duo to direct a female-led solo film breaks away from the belief that a female superhero movie should only be directed by a woman. Honestly, I believe that having a female filmmaker on a female-led project can improve certain factors, but overall, the most important aspect is to have someone that has a passion for the material and a vision to execute the story. If a director has both, then their sex is irrelevant. But the most important thing is to have talent, and this filmmaking duo has no shortage of it. A director should always be given a project based on their talent and not their gender or ethnicity. Anyways, let's get this episode back on track and move on to the next creative attached to this upcoming project. British screenwriter Christina Hodson will be penning the script. She is best known for writing the screenplay for Bumblebee, a spin-off to the Transformers movies, which to this date is the best story conceived for the franchise. There's also Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. The Margot Robbie-led film marked the start of the writer and producer's relationship with Warner Brothers, who then hired her to write for another DCEU film, The Flash. Batgirl will mark the third time the creative has been involved in a project for the studio. Based on what I've seen from her as a storyteller, she's a great choice for this female-led superhero movie. I just hope that this is more on the level of a work on Bumblebee and not Birds of Prey. I enjoyed the movie, but not for the story. It was about the character work. No matter my gripes with Birds of Prey, I'm still eager to see what Hudson will come up with for Batgirl. Overall, I've enjoyed following her work, and having her attached to this film gives me a ton of confidence that the script coming together will be one that's worth adapting. I'd say this film is shaping up well, even though we are yet to know who will be included in the project, or what characters from the wider Batman/DC universe will be appearing alongside Barbara Gordon. There's a strong chance that this will be a self-contained story that doesn't have any major ramifications to the wider DCEU continuity. Because it's Batgirl, I assume we'll get a more personal story that's set in Gotham. There are 3 potential people who could be included in the film to offer support to Barbara Gordon. There's Commissioner Gordon, Barbara's father, who is the chief of Gotham Police. J.K. Simmons made his first appearance as the character in the theatrical release of Justice League, and again in Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's a chance that Simmons will reprise his role for the streaming movie. In fact, it was recently reported that the actor is in talks to join the cast. So fingers crossed, it would mean he would have a larger role than his cameo in the aforementioned movies. So let me quickly address something that people will bring up about Leslie Grace playing J.K. Simmons' daughter in this project. I know people will point out that she's a different ethnicity to the character, but it doesn't matter. A simple explanation would be she's adopted. So, moving on. The next one might be a bit tricky because Ben Affleck is retiring from his role as Batman. The actor is making one last appearance in the upcoming Flash movie before bowing out of the DCEU. Since Batman is an integral part to inspiring Barbara Gordon in becoming Batgirl, it would be great to see the character appear in some form. Maybe they recast him? We'll see. The third is Dick Grayson, aka Robin, aka Nightwing. We know that Robin existed at one point in this universe, before he was brutally murdered by the Joker and Harley Quinn. But we have no idea when this film is set. It could take place before or after his death. Dick Grayson has an interesting relationship with Barbara that would be great to see in live action. Okay, so I know that this casting choice will no doubt get some die-hard fanboys raging online because they think this is a diversity play, to be inclusive. Yes, Barbara Gordon has always been a Caucasian woman and a redhead, but honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm less concerned about her ethnicity and more interested in how the character will be depicted. Having her be a Latina will not affect the character, except maybe the filmmakers will draw more on her cultural background. Something that would be great to explore, as it would be a fundamental part in shaping her identity as a person, and then as the type of hero she becomes. If In the Heights is any indication of what we can expect from Leslie Grace, then I'm fully on board with her casting. She had a captivating presence to her that made me genuinely interested in seeing what she would do next. And here we are. She is now one of 3 Latina actresses set to have a prominent role in a DC project, after Sasha Calle, who will make her debut as Supergirl in The Flash, and Rachel Zegler in a mystery role for Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So the representation for Latina women is strong in the DCEU. I'm rooting for her to do well in this role, and just to have a great film for a character that was long overdue on getting her own feature-length movie. It's easy to forget that this movie has been in development for 6 years, during which Joss Whedon dropped out as the director. So it's great that Warner Brothers haven't abandoned this project, and we have finally seen some steps towards it being a reality. The movie is set to debut exclusively on HBO Max, which will make it the first major DC property to skip cinemas and premiere on the streaming service. Currently, this film doesn't have a set release date, but it's most likely that filming will begin later this year or next year with a 2023 release date. So what are your thoughts on Leslie Grace being cast as Barbara Gordon / Batgirl? Was she your first pick for the role? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways folks, that's all for now. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to subscribe, like and comment below. And hey, maybe this wasn't your cup of tea, And that's okay. Just remember to take care and stay safe.